What happens when science fiction meets real engineering? You get something that looks like it came straight out of Star Wars. But what you're seeing in this video is actually real. This is the Airbike by Volonaut, a flying motorcycle. In this video we're going to break down how it works, how much it costs, and most importantly, whether this is the future of personal transportation or just a very expensive toy. But first, what is this company? Volonaut isn't a well-known automotive company, it's actually a niche startup based in Poland, led by the engineer Thomas Patan. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because he's also behind the Jetson One, the lightweight eVTOL currently being developed in Italy. Let me know if you want a full video on that too. But Volonaut's vision is extremely ambitious. They're not just trying to build another flying vehicle, they want to completely rethink personal mobility, going beyond traditional eVTOLs, and calling eVTOLs traditional already tells you how far ahead they're aiming, bringing technology we've only seen in movies into the real world, blending extreme sports, entertainment and futuristic transportation. And that brings up to the main subject, the Airbike. It was first revealed to the public in a YouTube video on May 2nd, 2025. At that time it was just a prototype lifting off the ground and flying, but not much more. Later, between July and December 2025, Volonaut released additional test footage, longer video with no special effects, proving that this thing is actually real and not just a CGI. And honestly the reaction was mixed. On one side fascination, on other side skepticism, because even eVTOL's market haven't fully taken off yet, so something even more extreme like a flying motorcycle felt a bit unrealistic. Many people thought it would just remain a concept, but as we'll see later, it actually launched, with a price that surprised pretty much everyone. But before we get there, let's talk about how it works. First of all, obviously is a single seater. The riding position is very similar to a traditional motorbike. The frame is made of carbon fiber to keep it extremely lightweight, around 30 kilograms. And interestingly, many components are 3D printed, although the exact materials haven't been disclosed. Now here's where it gets really unusual. Unlike most eVTOLs, the Airbike doesn't use electric propellers or rotors. Instead, it relies on what are described as redundant microjet turbines. This allows the prototype to reach the speed of 150 km per hour, while the certified version is limited to 102. Yes, I almost said certified for the roads, but it's more accurate to say for the sky. Another big difference is not electric, but it runs on a diesel engine, and that gives it an impressive range of about 10 minutes, which is probably the biggest downside right after the price. Interestingly, in the US it doesn't even require a pilot license, because it's classified as an ultralight vehicle, so what you end up is a strange hybrid between a motorcycle, a drone and an eVTOL. But now let's talk about the real problem, the price. The Airbike has been available for pre-order since August 1st, 2025. And the purchase process is, let's say, interesting. First, a non-refundable $2,000 deposit just to secure your spot, then an $80,000 payment before production starts, and finally a small remaining balance of $798,000 upon delivery. Yes, that brings the total to $880,000. And that actually includes official training in the US, because even if it's partially automated, this is not something you can just jump on and fly. If you consider this, the price is almost cheap. But jokes aside, at this point the conclusion seems obvious. This is basically a very expensive toy, something for ultra wealthy people, like a jet ski but taken to the extreme. So okay, neither of us can afford that, but since we're talking about future tech, let's try to understand if there are any real use cases. First, extreme sports and entertainment. Not only personal use, but even events, aerial shows, or maybe competitions like what we've already seen with Jetson One. In that context, the very high price of the aircraft would not be a problem, like a F1 car. Second, monitoring large areas. If you own massive land or need to inspect hard-to-reach locations, this could actually make sense if you're a billionaire, given the fact that it's much more expensive than an eVTOL. Third can be tourism, because company could create controlled routes where people can experience flying something like this. We've already seen similar concept with other eVTOL projects like the IROT, now called Abridge, that some time ago mentioned the idea of creating flight camps, where visitors could use their eVTOLs to fly along predefined routes. And honestly, you can imagine a lot of rich guys paying big money for an experience like that. And one more niche idea, filmmaking. You know, this thing already looks like it belongs to a sci-fi movie, so why not use it in one instead of CGI? Maybe a big Hollywood production where the budget to rent something like this isn't really a concern. And similar experiments have already been carried carried out by other startups we'll look at later. But for more practical uses like transport, delivery or law enforcement, right now it's just not realistic. The range is way too limited and the price way too high. Unless that jumps from 10 minutes to a couple of hours and the price lose a zero, it's not going to work. And now, before the end of the video, what about competitors? The closest one, as I already said, is probably Jetson One. Even though it's quite different, it's still a single seat eVTOL with similar goals but much cheaper. At this point, it's hard not to say that Jetson One clearly wins. Plus, they have already done some competitive race like the one you see in this video, so they are definitely the ones who have shown the most potential so far. Another example could be Speeder by Jetpack Aviation. This one uses multiple jet engines and follows a more traditional eVTOL approach. The only issue is that the company hasn't given any news for a long time. Overall, we're still in a very early phase of personal air mobility. We're starting to see incredible technology emerge, but they still face huge challenges like regulations, costs and infrastructure. So the Volonaut Airbike isn't just a vehicle, it's more like a statement, a way to push the limits of what's possible. But for now, the technical and economic barriers are still too high. Maybe one day we'll actually see flying bikes above our heads, but for now this remains a fascinating experiment. Obviously, let me know what you think down in the comments. Would you actually use something like this, ignoring the price for a second? And what you think are the biggest limitations? Leave a like or a comment if you want, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll analyze another technology that could shape our future for better or worse.